Washington State, you won't find many past executives memorialized in bronze. John McGraw here beneath the monorail is one exception to the trend. Celebrated for thwarting anti-Chinese riots, his statue still stands in Seattle today. But as I learned, many of his predecessors and successors are shrouded in controversy. Some were even downright scoundrels.
We got some real doozies coming through here. Some scholar wrote about these, like this sort of string of men who came here and had no real impact and did accomplish nothing just because they were political appointments in this era of like political patronage.
Historian Felix Bonnell takes us back to the territorial days. Before elections, back when the Brits still occupied a slice of San Juan Island, President James Buchanan appointed Fayette McMullen as the Washington Territory's governor in 1857, who, come to find out, had some ulterior motives.
He wanted a legislative divorce. It was hard to get a divorce in Virginia, where he was from. He wanted to dump his wife and marry somebody new. He married a young woman from Thurston County, took her with him when he left for Virginia after his 2-year term was up.
His successor, another Buchanan appointee, the less documented Governor Richard Golson, didn't hang around long either.
Lincoln wins the presidency in 1860. Golson resigned, said, "There's no way I'm going to serve for a day under a so-called Republican president." He hightailed it back to Kentucky, took his enslaved people, moved them to Tennessee.
Moving forward and past the Civil War, we arrive in 1909. Washington is finally a state, but in many ways still the Wild West. Redmond looked like this, logging roads and stables. But make no mistake, the Emerald City is beginning to grow. It's prime time for fortune seekers looking north to the Alaskan goldfields. And that's when the voters choose Samuel Cosgrove.
He gives his inauguration, his speech, and he says right away, "Can I have a leave of absence?" He's very ill. He's suffering from a kidney disease, and he asks for permission to take a few months off and go to California and recover. They grant it to him. He goes to California and dies. Samuel Cosgrove is like our William Henry Harrison in terms of just being governor literally for less than a day.
Of Washington's 22 elected governors, you'll only find 2 women, and both have been caught in controversy.
Governor Ray, Dixie Lee Ray, is a pretty controversial governor. She took out grudges on members of the media. That was a pretty kind of a rough and tumble period in terms of Olympia and the governor's relationship with the media. And she happens to be the governor when Mount St. Helens erupts, which, you know, that's not her fault. But she gets blamed for a lot of the way the red zone around the mountain was enforced and not enforced.
Over decades, the ash settled, but oh boy, in 2004, the dust kicked back up during the infamous Dino Rossi-Christine Gregoire contest.
The recount took months. There were lawsuits. There's still some people who are bitter about that. It was such a fascinating chapter, a little bit of a preview of what happened in 2020 in terms of the elongated count and the uncertainty. If you don't know who the elected lead official of the state is, it makes you kind of just, I don't know, a little uneasy.
Reporting in the Evergreen State, Lauren Donovan, Fox 13 News.